Today, we'll be doing an unboxing and review of Mezco 112's Bishop, The Last X-Men, so that you can decide whether or not you would like to add him to your collection. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, friends? It's your boy Big Nerdo here, and thank you for checking out my channel. In this review, we'll be going over box art, my first impressions, accessories, some articulation, my likes and dislikes, comparisons, and we'll wrap it up. As my channel is growing, any support that you can offer will be greatly appreciated. A simple like, share, and subscribe goes a very long way. As far as box art goes for Mezco X-Men figures, this one is a step up. Most of them just have the X on the front. This one gives you full comic art, which I appreciate. You have some lost souls in the background, Bishop in the front holding a scimitar and his hand ablazing, standing on some rubble. Simple, but just something that's pleasing to look at. On the side, we got him on the side here with his blast and a smile on his face, looking really cool. 112 collectives, pose, play, display. I like that. Mezco toys by collectors for collectors. Now that's, you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. On the back, you get the details of what you're gonna get inside, which comes with a plethora of options. And I'll show you that later. And some poses at the bottom, just in case, you know, when you get it out, you're just overwhelmed with everything you got and you need some ideas. Can't wait to open this up and look inside. And here's the first sleeve right out of the pack. But before we do a deeper dive into the accessories, let's get Bishop out and take a closer look. And here he is out the package. No fancy poses or anything, just in the display. And I must say, in my opinion, he's one of the better looking X-Men from the Mezco line so far. Now we can agree to disagree, and that's fine. Comment below and tell me what you think. I feel like the head portrait alone gives us such a realism vibe that he looks like a regular dude walking down the street. And then the bald version just gives you a whole different option for the same figure. There's a ton of details that makes me feel like Mezco really took their time to get this one right. And I think they knocked it out the park. Let's look closer at all his accessories and what he comes with. And here he is standing up with all his accessories. We have 3 interchangeable head portraits, closed fists, action hands, open hand palms, 2 right-handed trigger fingers, large and small, to hold his energy blaster, energy cannon that come with 3 removable clips, scimitar, his remote detonator, 3 grenades, energy smoke effect that goes over his action left hand, energy blast that goes over either of his fists. He comes with his war-torn cloak with integrated wire for posing, display-based, adjustable post, and an accessory storage instruction pamphlet on where to hold all of his arsenal. And here he is with all his accessories, a one-man army ready for anything that the future could bring to him. Now, let's look at articulation. Now for articulation, let's start with the head portrait. The head portrait with all the hair is going to go side to side, mainly because of all the dreads. And display-wise, amazing. I love this head portrait. But when you're wanting articulation out of the head, you best to go with the bald look. Now, with this bald look, you get full 360. You get angled looks. You get all the way down, as always, and straight forward. So, definitely got to go with the bald look if you want to get full motion out of the head portrait. Arms go up. Pretty decent. You got these shoulder plates, but you see now they put elastics in them so that you can get a better motion out of it, better range. A lot of people have been complaining about one of the arms not moving all the way up and that they've had to heat it up to get full motion out of it. Comment below if you had that problem. Double jointed elbows. Full rotation out of the wrists. Down to the ab crunch. Not much because you could see he has the plates here and they rub together, so don't expect too much out of an ab crunch out of him, forward or back. Down to the lower parts, you get pretty much a full Jean-Claude. Now, try not to go too crazy with it because he will split a seam. He will split a seam in the pants if you try to open it up too much. I can see mine kind of tearing, so I'm not going to get crazy with that. Legs go forward about that much. Go back about that much. Again, a lot of restriction from the pants. Double jointed kneecaps. And again, for mobility, they put the elastics around the knee pads here. And the feet, we got a bit of motion up and down, left and right. The whole boot will twist, but other than that, because it has a lot of protection here, you're not going to get much movement out of the feet, but that's okay. He stands up great on his own. So overall, I think Mezco 112 did a great job with this figure. Starting with the head portrait, I love the skin tone, I love the texture of the beard, the detail they have in his beard, and I like the fact that the bald head and the dread look gives you totally different energies and attitudes to the same character, so you get a little bit more options out of it. The details. I love throughout the armor, you're going to see tons of different damage, very war-torn, like I said before. The wrist here is smoothed out, but this one has some damage to it, which then kind of explains the wrap around his hand. Even to the X, all damaged out. I love this one. On the scimitar pouch, has some couple slashes in it, like he was counting down several people that he's had to pull this out on, and I'm sure they regretted it. The knee pads down to the boots, the buckles in the boots, really good. Such a good job. Well done, well done. Functionality. The fact that they put the elastics on the arm pads and the knee pads just gives you that more motion out of it without worrying about breaking it, you know? So I think they did a good job there. Things that I'm not a fan of is the action hand that holds the smoke. It's just really supposed to sit in place as per the instructions, but I really wish that they had set it up so it would grip in, like with maybe some finger holes. That way it would sit a lot more easier. Right now I'm struggling to get it in. It's not really the easiest thing to pose up with or to get into place, and once it's in, then it's just like, that's it. You're not doing much with it. If they had just made it so that, for instance, the other one that goes over the closed fist, if I could just get this one in, just kind of snugs inside, that does make a world of a difference. Now you can move this around, you can pose it, you're not worried about it falling out. With this one, for the action hand, you really gotta, okay, well I made that look easy this time, but again, as you can see, it just drops out so easily. Second thing, the right-handed trigger finger. They give you two of these, one for the smaller blaster, one for the larger blaster, which is cool. But they could have easily given you one for a gripping hand for the left. Because, okay, he holds his gun in this hand, both guns, but then he holds his detonators in his hand, he holds his grenades in his hand, his scimitar in his hand, and his clips in his hand. And it's just, it really lowers the amount of things that he can carry at once, per se. Yeah, I get it, he's right-handed, that's fine. But even people that are right-handed use their other hand for holding things. So I think that maybe they could have just given us a more functionable left hand for gripping, as opposed to having this, the only hand that does it all. And here he is with some of his X-Men partners. As you can see, Bishop does stand a bit taller than the figures that I currently have in my collection. I believe that the Cable with the full armor is about the same height or taller. But I wanted this one to go with the sequence here. I'm trying to build up my X-Men Adventures collection right now. And here he is with Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Magneto. And they're about the same height. Not too bad here. I probably wouldn't rock with them in the same collection, but just for the sake of comparisons, there you go. Here he is with the Signal from the DC McFarlane Toys line. Obviously, that's a 7-inch figure, and the Mezcos are 6-inch, but for comparison's sakes, that's how he looks. There he is with another DC McFarlane Toys, but now it's a mega figure, and it's a Clayface. And clearly, that comparison doesn't look bad, actually. I like it. Because I imagine Clayface to be a lot bigger anyways, so that one I'm not mad at. Is Mezco 112's Bishop worth adding to your collection? I'd say yes. I think if you're building an X-Men line, Bishop is a member of that team and plays a paramount role in it. I think the details in the character, along with its accessories and functionality, will give you hours of posings out of it, and just so many different options to way you can display it. I don't think you'll get bored of it fast at all. Now, I know people have had some issues with some of the joints, but even in some of the YouTube videos that I saw with the issues, they were all quickly resolved and easily. So I don't think that's a major thing. I think you could pick them up new or used. However you can get it, I think it's worth it. And I'd really love to hear what you think in the comments below. Thank you for your time. Peace.